You know, here on Delmarva Life, we have done a lot to promote kindness in our community. You probably remember us dancing for kindness last year. Our kindness queen, Grace Foxwell Murdoch, leading the way.
And then we met Savannah Brooks of Willards.
Your act of kindness can continue to change people's lives every single day and will never end.
She wrote a speech about kindness that competed in and won a national competition.
We have welcomed the Kindness Bus just outside of historic Studio D. The creator of 1 Million Acts of Kindness drives this bus around the country promoting kindness. We have gone through all of these efforts and so many more in hopes of finding out that kindness on Delmarva is contagious. And guess what? It turns out it is.
Oh, it sure is. And now Salisbury has been recognized in a huge way for the caring and kind people who live here. And here to tell us more about what's going on, our Salisbury Mayor, Jake Day, and Michael Lloyd White, immediate past General Secretary of World Kindness and presently the Chief Advisor to the Board of World Kindness USA. Welcome to Delmarva Life, both of you. Not even 24 hours ago, the Salisbury City Council signed a declaration to make the city a World Kindness USA city. What does that mean?
Well, we have declared our intent, and through the action of the City Council last night, we've declared our intent as a city to make this world a better place and a kinder place. And we're going to start with our small corner of it. So the City of Salisbury has said that we will achieve certain kindness performance indicators, that we are going to move the pendulum, swing it toward a kinder world. And I think that's something that every community and every city ought to be considering. How can we make our community a better and more welcoming place? This is the way to start.
So this would make Salisbury the first World Kindness USA city.
That is our goal.
What kind of impact is that going to have on?
Well, you know, I think Michael can probably speak to what kind of impact it has had in other countries.
Right.
But in the United States, I think it's clear to most that at times in our media, at times in public discourse, at times in politics, we are wanting for a better way of engaging one another.
Right.
We all want a better community. We all want a better world. And I think we have to find a starting point. We have to choose a starting point. So for us, it's going to be the way we look at one another, the way we treat one another, and the kind of place that we want to show off, particularly as we welcome more guests than we are used to welcoming to our little corner of Earth. And of course, I'm talking about the National Folk Festival.
Yeah.
So inviting all of these guests here, what kind of place are we going to be to them? And I want to make sure that we are a welcoming place. We're a place that's happy with ourselves,
right,
a place that treats each other with respect, and of course treats our visitors with respect.
All right, so Michael, you talked about the Folk Festival and us welcoming everyone in. So what is our next step? What can we do?
Well, having it on the agenda, I mean, if you want to bring about change, it starts with a conversation. And to have that conversation, you need to have it on the agenda. But sadly, I mean, there are exceptions. Obviously, Salisbury's an exception. Thanks to the efforts of locals here and what you've been covering in the media, that's very encouraging. But being able to ensure that we walk the talk, you know, it's very easy to do a proclamation. What the council did last night was not a proclamation. It was something that is rarely done because it required a unanimous resolution to declare their support for a kinder world and to use their best endeavours to meet these KPIs. And in a world that struggles to be the best that it can be, when the divides keep getting wider and we focus more on the messenger than on the content, that's not easy. So I take my hat off to Salisbury. They got on our radar about a year ago, and I had the opportunity to meet with Grace Foxwell Murdoch, an impressive woman of means, and I feel very confident that you'll be able to meet these KPIs, and we'll be, as World Kindness USA, we'll be representing the cities in the US that are putting their bids in to be recognised independently and internationally endorsed as World Kindness cities.
Okay, so I'm sorry, forgive me. Tell me again what a KPI is.
Well, normally it means key performance indicator.
Okay.
But we call them kindness performance indicators.
I like that a lot.
I do too.
So what happens now?
Okay, so the KPIs have been listed out. The first step was to get the motion. resolve the motion. That's been done. And the next step is to appoint goodwill ambassadors. So goodwill ambassadors within council, within the department of council, and within the community. So as the message starts to grow, the mayor is also working with other councils and inviting them to participate and to invite businesses to come on board, and they would follow the same. They would start to put kindness on the agenda. You do a word search for the word kindness on most organisations. Have a look on your national curriculum. 0 hits. You'll have mindfulness, you'll have wellness, you'll have well-being, but for some reason kindness has been misinterpreted as weakness or being gender specific.
Oh, okay, yeah.
When actually it's got nothing to do with hearts and flowers and sugar and spice and all things nice. It's about the courage to be kind, particularly today, because I believe that there is no act of courage that is not tempered with kindness, because both are selfless.
So what can we do as a community to be kind?
Well, my hope is that it becomes a default. In any decision-making process that you're faced with, if you can default to what is the kinder option, and if you can reprogram your thinking to be less about self in a world that's become all about self-help, self-serve and self-ease, and be a little bit more selfless, that's going to make a difference. Yeah. Being able to leave your comfort zone and invite somebody in, not to worry about your personal brand, because that person may be seen to be on the fringe or a little bit socially awkward, but not only do you notice them because they've gone unseen in an unkind world, maybe you're compelled to invite them in.
Yeah.
And that's what we've got to look at, because inclusivity is something we talk about all the time, but we don't get it. Yeah. Not unless we understand the power of exclusion.
So this kind of momentum has got to make you proud.
It does. And I'll tell you, we have, thanks to Grace Murdoch, we have as a community found several ways to put kindness at the forefront through Random Acts of Kindness Week, through the Kindness Bus visiting our city,
World Kindness Day.
Through World Kindness Day and Dance for Kindness. So we found a number of ways to put kindness at the forefront. What we need to do now is integrate it into our daily life. Yeah. And that's got to begin, I believe, with leaders. It's got to begin with our public servants. One of the things we talk about in city government constantly, yesterday we had our all-staff meeting, which I do every 6 months. It's 435 employees, all of our employees. We get together, talk about what's happened, what's coming up, key things we need to discuss. We talk a lot about customer service, but I think the fundamental piece that we're missing is really, what are we looking at when we're looking across the table at a citizen or a business who has a need, has a concern, has a complaint? How are we treating them? Not just as a customer, not just as a citizen, not just as a taxpayer, but as a human being. And are we treating them with kindness and fairness? And I think that's the question we've got to ask ourselves. And it will change the character of our community if we can change the character of our government, and if we can change the character of businesses and institutions in this community.
And it all starts with us.
It does,
all
absolutely.
Right. Mayor Jake Day, thank you so much.
Absolutely.
For being here.
My pleasure.
Thank you.
Michael Lloyd White, thank you.
Very much.
Thank you very much.
Talking to you.
Thank you.